So this is a topic that's actually really important to me because this is where I got my start in telecom, selling fixed wireless in an urban market in New York and actually competing against Ben Tansky here for deals. So I exited this space in 2016, and what's been eye-opening to me preparing and talking to these three over the past couple of weeks is how much the technology has evolved and their ability to meet the needs of customers has evolved right along with the demands for bandwidth, connectivity, reliability, scales, as we all know, exponentially. So I'm really excited to engage with the conversation and hopefully inform the audience about some of the unique things that they're doing in the fixed wireless space right now. So we have with us three people, all from the fixed wireless leadership. Gus Chimos, Chief Revenue Officer at Skywire. Madison Beatty, the Director of Channels and many other hats at Earthlink. And Ben Tansky from Natural Wireless, the Vice President of Sales. So I'll just start by letting you guys give a brief introduction of yourselves and the company.
Ladies first.
Thanks, Ben. How's everyone doing today? Good? You ready to go home? I know I'm ready to go home. I'm Madison Beatty. I'm the Director of Channel Sales at Earthlink. Earthlink is a 30-year-old company. How many of you used Earthlink back in the day? Awesome. We no longer do dial-up. I'm not very good at making those noises, but I will try sometime for you if you ask me in person. We do dedicated point-to-point fixed wireless for businesses today, and that's 90% of what we're doing in our business. So I love it. It's fun. It's a great industry, and it's a great product. So I'm excited to talk to you about it today.
Gus.
No jumping jacks?
We debated doing jumping jacks, but Gus decided that all of you should be saved from jumping jacks.
Morning, Gus Chimos. I joined Skywire earlier this year. I've been around for about 6 months with Skywire. And Skywire has been around for almost 25 years. We provide voice, internet solutions to both residential and commercial. We operate in the New York City area, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Newark. Most of our network is fixed wireless, although we do have a lot of Type 2, Type 3 connections with our partners. A lot of our partners are here, so kind of excited about talking about our bread and butter, fixed wireless, and hopefully debunking some myths. Ben.
Thank you. Thank you all for sticking around. Appreciate that. Great audience. Thank you, Connectbase, and Ben. Amazing. I'm Benjamin Tansky from Natural Wireless. Been at the company for 13 years. We've been in the fixed wireless game for 22 years. We service multiple markets on the East Coast. New York, the largest metropolitan areas, New York, New Jersey, Philly, Miami, Boston. Something about me, I'm from Montreal. I love hockey. I still play hockey every Sunday. Yeah, my gear sits in the basement. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you. So Ben, I know this is something that you're passionate about, so I'll start with you. What are some of the myths around fixed wireless right now, some of the misconceptions, and how does that impact the buyers, and how do we change the narrative?
The myths are, there's a lot of myths, right? We kind of talked this morning, but you have best effort, you have 5G fixed wireless, you have satellite connectivity, you have hybrid fixed wireless. That's a lot of different things. But what is and what isn't real fixed wireless is really important, right? We're going to talk about weather. I mean, has anyone received a question, hey, does fixed wireless, is it affected by weather at all, right? No, it is not affected by weather when it's designed and engineered correctly. The quality and the reliability go back to the design of the infrastructure itself. So your engineering team, our engineering team at Natural Wireless, has to fully understand what type of equipment to use for what types of applications, right? There's a lot of noise. There's a ton of noise in this sector, right? Every day, I fight. It's just education, education, education. Oh, I have a 5G fixed wireless connection. It's not really fixed wireless. It's a cellular data connection. And a business cannot run on a 5G fixed wireless connection, because a 5G fixed wireless connection is your hotspot. Turning your hotspot on your phone, it's not going to work. So you have to be asking the right types of questions to understand the differences. Weather does not affect a network when it's designed correctly. Short hops, the right frequency spectrum. Chip mentioned over here earlier, who's going to win the connectivity race? Chip, you should have threw in fixed wireless. Fixed wireless is more agile, the same SLAs as your traditional underground fiber, speeds, incredible speeds up to 20 gig. There's a gentleman online, he said that the last mile is where the internet goes to die. Because it's true, that's the most susceptible all of our customers are, is the last mile. And fixed wireless really, it's a diverse connection. It works really, really well. And it's important to understand and be able to debunk when people say, hey, I want a fixed wireless connection that's 5G. You have to be able to express and understand the difference of that. Just a short testimonial, then I'll wrap up and hand it off. The difference of a hybrid fixed wireless and a pure fixed wireless, that goes again back to your education piece. You got to understand, in a metropolitan city, customers, going to go back again with Chip and Ben just now, connectivity is cool. Anyone that says connectivity is not cool, check it. Connectivity is what powers all of our SAS, everything. Without connectivity, you got nothing, right? The last mile is so important, and I truly believe that the real fixed wireless is the next evolution in last mile connectivity.
Can I jump in there?
Go for it.
So he talked a lot about what is real fixed wireless. And how many of you know what fixed wireless is? We've got a handful, including my employee.
Training went well.
Training went well. He listened. He's actually been doing this longer than I have. So fixed wireless is a microwave radio point-to-point. It's a point-to-point connection from a POP, a location here in the city that's close to your customer's location, and it beams that bandwidth down to the customer's location. And that bandwidth can go up to, well, he goes up to 20 gigs, we go up to 10 gigs. What do you go up to?
Right now, 10.
10. So he's at 10 too. So you can add us together. And so I just want to make sure everybody understood that, because I didn't. And when I first started to hear about fixed wireless,
That's a good call. Good call for explaining that.
A partner had said to me, he's like, hey, I can hit it with fixed wireless. And I said to him, I don't want that crappy LTE stuff. And I didn't know. Fast forward, a few years later, I now know what fixed wireless is, but I really didn't. I did not understand the difference between an LTE solution and a fixed wireless solution. And I think that's the biggest myth that we're facing today, especially as you see a lot of the larger telcos, a lot of the mobile providers labeling their products fixed wireless, when it isn't a true fixed wireless solution. So that would be what I just would love to add to that myth.
So that's great. Gus,
Thank you.
a lot of attention has gone to fixed wireless connecting rural areas, but the three of you have network in dense urban environments. So talk to us a little bit about some of the challenges that fixed wireless solves in your markets, the dense markets.
Yeah, as you mentioned, fixed wireless, it's easy in rural, right? Because our cost to build out fiber with less dense, the economics make real good sense. But we operate in New York City metro area, and let's just say our densities are pretty big, right? And for us, the opportunities that we have is really to kind of provide a true alternate access, not be dependent on ripping up streets, trying to find space in a conduit, kind of begging and pleading that the electrical guys aren't blowing things up in our manholes. We're coming from the top down, and we connect in a way that is different and that is faster. And honestly, a hell of a lot more resilient than what kind of goes on the ground, especially in the metro market itself.
We also do rural, and we do a lot in the cities. So we're in your big kind of football cities. And the biggest thing I see is definitely the construction. People don't want to tear up a city street. Even in places where there's snow, they can't dig for 6 months of the year because the ground's frozen and nobody wants to be dealing with that. So I think that there's a lot of benefit to fixed wireless in big cities, but I also think the biggest thing today that we're seeing, or at least that I'm seeing, is the increased demand for bandwidth. As you move things to the cloud, and that happens a lot in big city where there's lots of business happening, you need quick, scalable bandwidth that you can churn up quickly, you can churn it down quickly, but more importantly, you can get it and have it as an SLA supported product. So I think that's really what drives the demand for fixed wireless, is that SLA support, the synchronous bandwidth. That's really what I'm seeing in the larger cities. And people always ask, like, what's your ideal customer? Who do you want us to sell you to?
That's right.
I get that. I get that all the time. And it's like, we have everything. If you can think of an enterprise customer, if they are in our market, they have our service, whether it's a backup or a primary. They have our service. We stream video. We do Live Nation concerts. We did the first Netflix streaming special, not the disastrous one that everyone hated. We did the comedy special. Okay, it was the comedy one in Baltimore. It was amazing, and it was successful. But they had 2 circuits from us. So things like that. There's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of opportunity for fixed wireless in big cities, not just for temporary events and construction and things like that, but for primary connections.
I do agree with both of you, truly. In metropolitan areas, you're dealing with underground utilities. And an interesting fact is that the internet connectivity piece of underground utilities is not considered mission critical. So you have power, water, everything underground, and the internet is the last thing that gets fixed when something happens underground. And, like you said, Madison, there's construction, there's backhoe accidents, there's manhole fires, there's flooding. You name it, it happens in a dense metropolitan area. What's that?
It's like a manhole fire.
Oh, manhole fires are crazy. It's like water. It's like popcorn in a microwave. It's popping. You can't put a manhole fire out because it's underground. It's electric fire underground. What's really pushing and attracting customers to fixed wireless, to true fixed wireless, is the diversity, right? It's being diverse from all of those underground utilities. And when a company is able to do and provide 2 separate path diverse connections for a customer, that means 2 different antennas on the rooftop going back to 2 different data centers. You can call that a high availability network. Natural Wireless does that for all of their customers in all of our markets on the East Coast. That's attractive. And there's no added cost for any of that stuff. That's how we've designed our network. And another really, really important piece, I'm sure we can all agree, is that people and customers say, hey, is this going to be as my backup connection? No, this is a primary connection. You have the same characteristics as your traditional underground fiber, but this is diverse. You have SLA-backed service, symmetrical speeds that, like you said, Madison, the time to install is days. It could be hours. If it's a triage, you can go in and install same day. It just works really, really well. And
Let's come back to it.
That. Punt it, pass the puck.
We've touched on a couple of the features of fixed wireless as a primary option, which is important. You talked about path diversity. So one of the questions that somebody put in a chat previously was, how do I make money on it? So talk to me or give us some examples of partners that have embraced fixed wireless as a primary or as a path diverse circuit, and how it drove more revenue, whether you're a managed service provider or the channel. Just what's the thought process that you sort of want the boots on the street to have to make more money with you guys?
Listen, so my role as the kind of CRO, we're all about revenue, right? So everything I kind of wake up and go to bed and dream of, how do I bring on revenue? With every sales organization, your number one kind of sales tactic is, how quickly can you get it installed, right? That's what the customer wants. That's what the finance guys want. What we do and how we do it, we can install in hours and days, even in a location that's not on net, which is unheard of kind of in the more traditional kind of wired world that we've been living in. So, that's, the comment is our agents, our partners, they all want to get paid. Fixed wireless can get you paid faster. And, I'll let others talk about the economics and why we can be a little bit more aggressive on price points to help our partners close deals.
I think, we talked about this question this morning. Well, my immediate reaction, well, you just sell it, and that's how you make money.
Yeah.
It's really simple, guys.
Get it signed.
But I really think that thinking about how you're supporting your customers. So are you providing them path diversity? So we come from the roof. We're not going through the demarc. We're not going through the ground. So if that fiber line to their building gets cut, they're still up and running. They can take credit cards. They can be on their phones. They can use their cloud-based applications. They still have access to all of that through our diverse connection because it's not going through the main point of entry. So that's a great way of you looking out for your customers. You're forward thinking there for them. When something goes wrong, you are their hero. And we had a case recently where there was a hurricane in Florida, and it was Fort Myers. I can't remember what the name was. And our building that we had actually installed the week before was the only one on the block with internet. So they were the only ones still up. The LTE solutions had blown off the roofs. Their fiber was down. The coax was down because it was wet. And because our POP was around 10 miles away inland, this building still had internet. And they had a generator, so they had power. So they were still running their operations. So things like that, especially in markets like Florida, it's a great way to be able to provide that redundancy for your customers. The other thing I always say is, look at cost. Fixed wireless is extremely affordable. So if you're changing from a fiber connection, you're not only providing diversity, you're lowering their spend costs, and they can use that money to grow their business. They can use that money to buy other services from you. We recently did a very large multi-location opportunity where we dropped their spend and took them from a coax solution to a fixed wireless solution with an SLA. And the customer is extremely happy because they're saving money. So there's a lot of ways that you can make money by saving your customers money, increasing their redundancy. That would be my thought processes on that one.
I love it. I'm gonna lead with a case study. Everyone loves a real story. So this is in a dense metropolitan area in New York City. Huge hotel, like this big, in downtown Manhattan. This hotel, we'll call it whatever we'll call it. It's a big hotel. They had multiple underground fibers coming in from different points of entry, like you said earlier. Multiple, this is a customer I was trying to win for a while. And the hotel kept saying, no, we're good. We have multiple points of entry in our building. We're fine. Okay, no problem. I'm patient. I've been with the company for 13 years. They say, no, okay, we'll follow up in a little bit. Okay, I get a call one night, and keep in mind, multiple underground fiber connections from different providers, I might add, right? I get a call, and it's about 8:30 at night. Ben, we're ready to move forward with your service. I'm like, that's amazing. Okay, I answered the phone because it was the director of IT for this huge hotel company. Okay, I'll send you paperwork in the morning. No, you misunderstand. Can you send me the paperwork now? I need you to install tomorrow morning. We've been hard down for 48 hours. This is an 800-room hotel. Point of sales have been down for 48 hours. Reservation, check-ins, their back office systems, all down. Wow, what do I say? I'm like, honey, I need a few hours. All right? I went upstairs to the office, got on the horn with my team, my engineering team, my deployment team. Okay, we found the building, we've isolated. He sent us building drawings, riser maps. Okay, fast forward a bunch of stuff no one's interested in right here. The next morning we were on site at this hotel, right? We installed service, fully installed from the rooftop. This was like a 48-story building. From the roof down to the MDF room, we installed. They have a 10 gig circuit. I say multiple because we bring in two separate path diverse connections. But the purpose of this case study or this testimony, whatever you want to call it, is that understanding the difference between redundancy and diversity is so important, right? And customers are very aware, because if you have multiple underground fibers and your customer is paying $10,000 a month for all these services, and somehow when there's an underground issue, all go down, they're going to ask hard questions. You said I have diversity. I don't have diversity. What's the diversity play? The diversity play is fixed wireless. That's the diversity play. And it's a primary connection. It goes in, it's ultra low latency. Round trip latency on average on our natural wireless network in all of our markets is between 2 and 4 millisecond round trip latency. That's very fast, right? That customer, they're still a customer to this day. I was on the phone with the CTO, the CIO, the regional director of IT, the general manager of the hotel, the accounting team at the hotel. Everything was approved in 3 hours.
Great.
Everything. And that's a success. And the hotel opened their eyes. They're like, wow, we have redundancy. We don't have diversity.
And to your point, in access medium, it's unique to fixed wireless to be able to do that and turn that around.
Connectivity is cool.
Cool. Connectivity is cool.
Yes.
But you
I
highlight
think we
when
should
you
have
talk.
shirts made.
Yeah, I agree. I'll make them.
Okay, I'll wear one. We've got this.
Done.
Anybody else? Connectivity is cool. T-shirts.
Take her.
Ben's gonna be shipping them out.
100.
Come
Done.
get them from us. Give us your emails. We'll make sure you get them.
Will they only be in pastel colors?
They'll be in any color you want. All
Connectbase
colors.
blue.
We'll use ChatGPT to
Connectbase
generate
blue.
the logos.
Nice.
So, but you highlighted that you installed 10 gig connections on the rooftop. One of the myths I had, probably because I remember selling 5 megs for $500 and thinking it was incredible, or being on looking at engineering notes, hoping that the field was pulling 1.6 megs to install my T1. So one of the myths that you've dispelled for me is just the increased capacity and your ability to deliver, commensurate with the needs of today's consumers, which are obviously rapidly growing. So Gus, can you talk to us a little bit about how the technology has evolved, how the economics have evolved to deliver that, both at the economic price point and with capacity?
Yeah, so again, we're doing 10 gig, 20 gig is here, and true 20 gig. We're not talking about 10 gigs. 45 gig is actually being tested right now. So it's come a long way. We talk about what is fixed wireless and how our 5G connections. I mean, 5G and T-Mobile and AT&T, they engineered for your mobile devices, and I use the term engineered loosely. Fixed wireless is truly engineered to provide that level of connectivity for mission critical services itself. And in the past, there have been issues with what I'll call obstacles, whether it's rain, fade, fog, and whatnot. But the technology has evolved to the point where it's not as susceptible, and the technology continues to evolve where multi-paths are being sent that can actually get around whether they're short-term or long-term obstacles, and then they kind of reassemble on the other end. So your line of sight comment that's always been the play for fixed wireless starts to kind of get pulled back, where you don't need line of sight to do fixed wireless, which to me seems like magic. My engineers say it's effing magic. I love it. We need to sell it, more of it. 10, 20 gig. We're going to hit 50 gig soon too. It's where we're going, and we're keeping up with the demand that is out there.
All right. What about the economics? I mean, as I remember, delivering like-for-like service.
I mean, the economics for fixed wireless is insane. I mean, you can go into a metropolitan city, in our markets, natural wireless. I hate selling on price. We should never sell on price. You sell on value. Fixed wireless is a value play. It's a diversity play. There are very few operators that can do it. But talk about price. I mean, what is a 10 gig symmetrical connection? A high availability 10 gig. That means 2 separate path diverse connections, each going back to a different data center, and there's real time failover between each connection. What does that sell for? I mean, I'll probably get blowback for saying this, but we're selling it for around $1,800 a month. That's awesome. What? And you can install, like you said, the time to bring it online is days, a day maybe at best, or at worst, I should say.
Well, I think you can also talk about build costs, because with fixed wireless, we have a very low one-time install fee, $600. And a lot of times we waive that for our partners or for our customers. So you are getting up with your internet very, very quickly with very low cost. So if you're looking at a high fiber build or a long fiber build, that's a great time to pitch fixed wireless because we are going to install quickly, we're going to install cheaply.
Awesome.
One of your other questions was how do the partners, how do people buy? What's the best way to buy or sell fixed wireless? And we kind of talked about this morning. When you're selling, everyone knows how to sell fiber, right? Change the word fiber to fixed wireless. Sell it like that. However you sell your fiber, just change that kind of that terminology in your head because it's the same reliability, it's the same performance, same SLAs. If you just tweak the word fiber to fixed wireless and just learn a little bit, just pick up one or two things that the three of us up here are talking about, people are going to be able to really grasp the concept a lot better and not be afraid of it.
Good. Thank you. So we're at time. I want to thank the panelists. I hope this was educational, and I know I've seen what they have in the Connectbase instance, and it's all tightened up and available to connect. All three companies have an auto-approved connection. So as a buyer, you can simply request a connection, and they want you to find them, drive business. So I encourage you to reach out, learn more, and drive some business their way because it can be a huge impact for your customers. So appreciate the time. A couple more sessions, and we'll call it a day. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.